Welcome back to Where is the Money? So GM, the legacy automaker, the big boys of the auto industry in the US, is laying off. They are preparing and already started on laying off 34,000 workers in 3 states and multiple plants. Some with the EVs, some is corporate level, some is engineers. It's a lot of different areas getting hit, but it's coming down and happening right now.
General Motors announced it's laying off more than 3,400 workers across the country, including many here in Detroit. CBS News Detroit's Gina Vici joins us outside Factory Zero in Hamtramck with more on what's behind the layoffs.
Yeah, automotive experts say there are a few things at play here, leading to more than 3,000 layoffs across General Motors, including 1,200 here at Factory Zero, and that includes lower EV demand. Those buying incentives for EVs, those are going away, as well as the higher cost due to tariffs.
This is a substantial cutback, and I expect to see more of it around the country.
So some people say, listen, let's be clear. This happened because of the Trump administration. So the Trump policies affected GM's bottom line in a couple ways. One, the tariffs on incoming parts, and more importantly, the superconductor chips that we don't have here. We got to import them in. They all come with steep prices because of the tariffs. On top of that, there was some EV incentives that now has expired that they did not renew for EVs because the administration doesn't believe in anything saving the environment. They don't believe in global warming or any of these factors. So EVs is not important. So they let that expire. So that's a double whammy for the auto manufacturers.
Most people say, new year, new you. However, with the new General Motors announcement that just came out, some of their employees feel just the opposite. Let's talk about it. America's largest auto manufacturing company, General Motors, just came out with an announcement of permanent job layoffs effective January 2026 of a total of 3,300 employees, out of which will affect 3 different states: Michigan, Ohio, and Tennessee. And these permanent layoffs is due to the Trump administration's policy changes. Because of the Trump administration's policy changes, General Motors stated that they are set to lose $1.6 billion this quarter alone. And because of this amount of loss is the cause of the permanent layoffs. While Republicans promised to bring manufacturing jobs back to America with the policies that they implemented, it did just the opposite. Let me break this down for you. Georgia lost the Hyundai plant because of the immigration policies. Michigan lost a large automotive plant because of the tariff policies. Now, Michigan is set to lose more because of the EV policies. Not only is Michigan going to lose more, but Ohio is going to lose, and now Tennessee. So the Trump administration would lead you to believe that the Biden administration was taking manufacturing jobs away from America, when in fact, it was just the opposite. The Biden administration implemented the EV tax credit, which the Trump administration did away with. And the EV tax credit not only helped the individual taxpayer, but if you go and you look at it and study it, it helped the manufacturing companies as a whole. So while Trump and his administration sends falsehood out to America to make them look good, and in turn, all he's doing is hurting America. So you see, this is fact, not fiction. The Trump administration and its regulatory changes to policies is what is causing America to lose jobs to other countries. Comment down below how you feel about the Trump administration and its changes, and how many more people will have to suffer behind this administration and its changes. Like, share, and follow me for more controversial topics.
To the point that they have to lay off this many people, and it will be more. $1.6 billion they're slated to lose just this quarter in Q4. That is a lot of money that they're gonna be bleeding out, and that bleeding will continue on into Q1 into next year. So we're gonna see how long the layoff cycle continues, but it's a bloodbath for a lot of companies that are laying off. Do you consider that them not doing well, so they're laying off? Because a lot of them are laying off with record profits. We can't say that they're really hurting, maybe hurting their profit margin, but they're still making good money. They want more money, so they do the layoffs to make sure their books is all set going into the new year. Q4 is always the time of the year where these companies go crazy with the layoffs, and with the economic climate, they have the cover to continue on down this road to make their books look even more profitable than what it is without all that labor and benefits they're paying for.
Y'all, get your financial houses in order. Because listen, I worked in corporate America 41 years. I've been laid off, reassigned, relocated, demoted, reorganized, all that stuff. And there's some things that are pretty common in corporate America, right? So right now you see the big companies like Amazon and UPS announcing layoffs, and Microsoft and a few others. Okay, the next wave is the smaller companies. They're not small like a mom and pop store. They're just smaller than Fortune 10, Fortune 50, like they're Fortune 500 or Fortune 1000. But they employ a lot of people, and layoffs are like dance fads. They just get popular all of a sudden. And companies, these smaller companies will be like, listen, these big companies take the hit in the media, we can start laying off people too. Because what happens is companies can make their books look better by the end of the year if they get rid of salaries and benefits. And then that prepares them for a first quarter. And they think, well, if we could start fast in the first quarter, we can get a lot of things. We can get our money to look good and blah, blah, blah. And then in January, they'll be like, oh, you know what? We didn't get out to the good start that we thought. They start laying off again in February. So if you are in corporate America right now, I am just saying, get your financial house in order, because the big companies are the first wave, the medium companies are the second wave, and smaller companies are the third wave. And we're still in that first wave and it's not finished. And unfortunately, as an employee, you don't have any control over that. You don't. I mean, there's a little bit of things you could do. You can be a good employee and be productive and all this kind of stuff, good reviews. But a lot of times, it won't even matter. They're just cutting numbers, and your name is just one of those numbers. So get your house in order, because as people on these apps are saying right now, Americans are closer to being on Snap than they are to being a billionaire, right? We're closer to being on Snap, right? It used to be people were 2-3 paychecks away, and now it's like 2.5 paychecks or 2 paychecks. So yeah, maybe there is a storm coming. Wall Street and the White House doesn't matter, because those companies make money regardless, because the institutional investors will see to it, right? Will see to it, but they don't see to the employees. They will cheer. You see Amazon stock and those stocks of those companies, when they announce layoffs, their stock go up, because the investors are happy that they're getting rid of salaries and benefits. So I think we're in for a bumpy ride. And I think this is the first wave. So do what you can and make sure you're prepared for the second and third wave, because that's when it hits most Americans.
So if you're still under corporate America, whether you work in the corporate level or if you work in line level, but you work under a big corporation, you need a game plan, okay? Because here's the game plan they got. They got a whole lineup on how they're going to run out this layoff and how that's going to affect and benefit their bottom line. So get your finances in order. Don't spend unnecessarily. Buckle down. Look for opportunities. Get a side gig. Get into the content creation business. Get into something that's not relying on these jobs, because the would-be safe jobs are not safe anymore. I don't care what it is. Put your comments below. Let's talk about it. This is Where is the Money? Talk to you soon.